Hi again, I hope all is going great. In other videos, we've talked before about how to play your handpan, know your scale, and strengthen your non-dominant hand. Since we've reviewed the most basic way of playing, which was with the third part of our finger, with the top bending, now we're going to incorporate more special sounds, as I like to call them, because I believe these sounds, in addition to rhythm and groove, create unique playing styles that differentiate each handpan player. So let's hear and see the most popular sounds and textures that a handpan can give to us. Let's start with the knock sound that is achieved by playing as you would typically knock on a door. This knock is more intended from the metal sound that does not carry notes. You can hear more of the harmonics in the upper part of the handpan near the ding shoulder and top part of the notes. You can use it in notes, but be gentle and find the right position too. Let's hear it out. I usually do it with my middle finger, but you can incorporate more fingers. It's a heavy sound. And now let's try it on notes. You can also use this type of knock with individual fingers and a slight bending of your elbow and palm so you can get a good sound which fits comfortable. The easiest finger I find to play with this type of knocking sound is your pinky. Or a little sideways. And, well, all of other fingers could sound well with some practice. Now we can also use the top and bonier side of the bending of our fingers closer to the tip. This is usually a way more percussive sound that carries kind of a rhythm and helps group feel fuller. You can explore playing with them in the metal part as it is accustomed, or as I also really like to use it, which is by playing notes on a softer section to raise the harmonics with a soft and soothing sound. Let's try it out. Now let's try to play the notes. Be sure to also explore using one finger, two fingers, three fingers, and four fingers as well. We can also slap the outer side of our handpan, which also, as the last effects, can be sometimes referred to as a tack sound. So this sound has less harmonics and less of the notes and helps a composition to lead with a more percussive and dry sound. Let's hear it out. And depending on the place where you play it, we can hear less or more harmonics. Let's see it out. Let's try it now on the top. That is the difference. Another effect that is used many times at the ending of a phrase is giving air to the notes. You can hear this effect by being around 1 or 2 inches away from the note and kind of giving it air with your palm. You can vary the rapidness of this effect and use it anytime. Let's see how it sounds. Just try it out. You can also use doubles in another place. You can also use 4 fingers or even less to play a specific note with kind of a cliché waiting movement over a desk. Afterwards, you can experiment with the tips of your fingers as a gentle move and use one or both hands to create some interesting variation in some notes. Let's hear it out. This is just one hand. And now let's hear three fingers. Now we have been using the third part of our finger, the top part, bending. Now let's use the tips of our fingers. And combining them. Nails can also be used to achieve some really interesting effects. This creates some more percussive and less resonant sound. For this effect, you just need minor long nails or bending your fingers a little more so they can be heard. Be aware to be gentle with this effect, because nails can also cause scratching in the finish of your handpan and even detuning. Let's hear it out. We can also play directly with the end of the tips of our fingers, where a more dull type of sound can be heard. This creates variations in sound and sometimes work as a transition in your songs, which you can really explore. Be sure to be gentle with your fingertips, since this is a sensitive area, and explore a soft playing style when you use it. Let's hear it out. Let's compare it with the original sound that we learned. A great sound that typically catches attention is the bending or vibrato effect, which is usually achieved between the ending of the ding and the beginning of the shoulder, where the harmonics are. You can see that the ding is like an oval, and therefore you can trace like an imaginary line sideways and vertically as well. So this is the right place and this is the other right place. Also, you can make it right here, but you need to slap it on a 90-degree angle, preferably on the outer edge. And you can also find it sometimes not in the side, but rather on the middle of the shoulder. There it is. Let's try here. Let's try outside. So we can hear right here in the middle of the shoulder. You just need to gently press it and just slap it. And then you can push a little. Don't go a little further because you could detune it. This is a really special effect, but also it is very subtle and needs to be fragile. And then you can try a little bit right here, which is not in the edge, but a little right here. Every handpan will be different. Be sure to be really conscious about this effect, because pushing too hard might even detune your ding, and you don't want that. So be really gentle on your pressing. Don't press too hard, and on your slap too. Depending on the fine-tuning and layers of the ding, it can be easier or harder to get that sound. Now that we are talking about harmonics and imaginary line that crosses the dimples and shoulders of each note, we can find harmonics on each of the note, exploring each one of them individually. You can find them easier by laying a finger over the edge of the dimple and just applying on a 90-degree angle a slight slap. Be sure to be on the outer side of the shoulder and it should work, but find the one that is more comfortable for you and in my case, it's the top part of each of the dimples. So let's hear it out. Since we were kind of muting some of the notes, let's explore the staccato sounds, which sounds way drier and similar to the way that we usually played at the beginning. It is consciously getting your fingers kind of to stick to the handpan surface and mute the note a lot. This might sound as a mistake if it is just one note, but if you repeat it in a specific section or play a hand with this effect and another one with a different one, it sounds fantastic, and it is also quite enjoyable and challenging. Let's hear it. And similar to the muting sound, we can use this other type of effect that is muting the sound with the side of our palm. I like to use it with both hands on the same note, just like this. So you can explore it and do some compositions such as Now let's explore a soft soothing effect that is called the brush. The brush is using the palm or the fingers between notes to achieve kind of a sweeping or shaker sound that is quite relaxing. Try using this effect in different places of the metal. I suggest you to use it between the ding shoulder and the notes and in specific parts of your composition to feel in playing or as a transition. We can also use our palm to kind of mute the ding instead of using it over the notes because it's a little bit more difficult. So then you can get something like this. You can also use 1 to 5 fingers to kind of mute the ding with the staccato technique. This way you can achieve different sounds for transitions, compositions, and many more things that could be quite interesting. Let's hear it out. You can also try to slap the ding or even the notes and achieve quite different sounds. If you remember the tag sounds we reviewed at the beginning, we can also get a similar sound with the side of our hand slightly closed and relaxed on the upper metal with no notes on the top shell. You can use a similar position to a fist facing up to keep a strong percussive sound. Let's hear how it sounds. Let's hear an improvisation that carries a lot of these elements. I highly encourage you to elevate your play and seek to incorporate many or even all of these effects on your compositions and improvisations and use them wisely so you can get a soothing effect that with practice will get more intuitive, natural, introspective, and original. I hope you enjoyed this video, such as I did recording it, and thank you very much for watching. See you on the next lesson.